clearly, what we've seen in the last 5 years is that there's been a huge increase in cyber attacks, not only in the amount that's happening, but also the sophistication, okay? Because what we're seeing is the tools that the bad guys are using is becoming more and more easy to get to, right? If you think about AI technology, large language models, not talking about the ones on the normal internet, on the dark web. These models that you can get as a service, you pay $79 and you can get an LLM that'll build you a set of phishing tools, malware scripts, encryption scripts, and also give you the A to B on how to basically take a company down. So what we've seen is a huge increase in the sophistication of attacks. That's at the what we call the lone wolf level. Like, you know what I mean with lone wolf? It's the guys that aren't organized, but they're attacking because they want to have some fun, not so much for money. They're just kind of like the old, in the old days we used to call them script kiddies, right? That's one part. The second part is the sophisticated organizations that exist that are full businesses. So the ransomware gangs that we see quite regularly with our Coveware acquisition. So we acquired a company called Coveware. They do incident response. So they do about 50 to 100 live incidents per month. So they're at the coalface of trying to get customers back up with negotiation and decryption. So they know the new adversaries very well. So they know that these new adversaries, Akira, Fog, Blackbuster, all of these guys that weren't really around 2 or 3 years ago, they're now doing some really good work. And when I say good work, I don't mean good work, I mean they're succeeding in being a ransomware company. Because these companies, they even have help desks. They once they ransom you, they send you the message, the email, and then they will ring up and say, we know we've hit you, now let's work through this together as a team. This is how they work, because they almost want repeat business, right? That combination, together with what we're seeing with the sophistication of the tooling, has just meant that, like we talked about earlier, if you're an organization at an enterprise level, the likelihood is that you will be attacked, for sure. So Veeam's been obviously around for 18 years now. We're a very mature backup company, but backup isn't enough, right? So what we've understood is that it's all about resiliency. It's about making sure that you architect your backup solution in such a way that if you do get attacked, you can recover with confidence. And what do I mean by that? I mean setting immutability, setting security on the backup server, making sure that you take a copy off site. And then more importantly of late, and what we've done into our latest releases, is introduce more technology to detect malware and ransomware in the backup. And that gives you at least some option or some possibility that you can recover with confidence without getting reinfected, because what we know is that reinfection rates are quite high. So that's part of what Veeam does, but then what we also do is we work with our partners in an ecosystem, the security partners, the MDRs, the EDR partners, the CM partners, to effectively make sure that they do what they do really well, and then we're the middle part, we're the backup and the recovery. And then at the other side, we're talking about business process. So Veeam's a critical component in that end-to-end BCDR strategy against a cyber attack, right? So the best thing that we can do is help our customers architect correctly. And then also, like I mentioned previously, we have Coveware. Just in case you get attacked, we've got the incident response guys to negotiate and help you get the best out of that bad situation. I think the best thing that we can do is we learn from our Coveware incidents, because the Coveware incidents are happening in real time. So we know exactly what's going on at the coalface. Like I said, if you're doing 50 to 100 a month, you understand what's happening. That gives us some idea of how these guys, it's called TTPs, technology, tactics and procedures, right? We understand that this is how they're doing it, what files they're trying to get, how they're laying low, what's their dwell time. If we can understand that and help the customers at that point, that's great. But more importantly, if we can detect the backups by continuing to increase our backup inline malware detection engines with increased AI and malware detection capability, post indicators of compromise, which means once the backup's gone through, scan it and check for onion links, check for anything that might be bad on the backup stream post, so pre-post. But then I think ultimately it's hard to stay ahead, right? Because like I said, the pointy end is getting pointier. These guys are getting better at what they're doing. The industry is trying to catch up. And I think the industry will always play catch up. in honesty, right? The best thing we can do is make all of our customers ready for when the inevitable happens.